It is, isn't it? Jack's back. Moo. Ha. Ha. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jackverse, and I am not going to talk about Kindle Scout. Hooray! Aren't you glad that's over? I sure am. Oh, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. My bad. Actually, I have something that I want to talk about today. Something that is really important. I know, I say everything's important. It's because everything is important. I want to talk about, not for some odd reason sounding like I'm from Canada. Let's try that again. I want to talk about being a fan. Yeah, we're all fans of something, right? If you're watching this, you very well might be a fan of mine. If you are, thank you so much. But we're fans of authors and musicians and celebrities and movie stars and politicians and everything. You name it, it has a fan. I'm sure that there is an empty jug of milk out there somewhere with a fan. Even Nickelback has fans. Oh. I am getting ahead of myself. Recently, I was made aware of something, and I'm not going to talk about that something because that's not how I am. I was made aware of something that less than polite behavior by fans. And I wanted to talk about that. Something that you probably don't realize as a fan is this. You represent that person or thing you are a fan of. That's right. Let me give you an example that hits close to home here in the state in which I live. I live in Kentucky. And if anybody knows about NCAA basketball, you've probably heard about Kentucky fans. I'm talking about the University of Kentucky. Their fans are very well known for not being very good fans. So much so that they make UK look really bad. And that's what I'm talking about. As a fan, when you go out in a public forum and you look bad, you say stupid things, especially you say stupid things about another artist, what you're doing is you are representing that artist that you are a fan of in a bad light. And that's not good. We already have enough dicks in this world. We don't need more. So, when you're on a public forum and you are speaking out about another artist, remember that you represent the artists that you love in an indirect way. And you don't want to make them look bad. I happen to be a huge fan of Devin Townsend. I'm a huge fan of Rush. I'm a massive fan of Clive Barker. And everybody knows it because I spout my mouth about it all the time. I would not want to go on a forum or a Facebook group and talk trash about these other artists. Why? Because as a fan of Devin and Getty and Alex and Neil and Clive, I don't want to come off as a douche because I don't want their fans to look like douches. Right? Nobody wants to be a douche, and nobody wants a douche on their team. Now this falls into the laps of both the fans and the artists. I want fans of my books to comport themselves in public with class and grace, because I want them to represent me. And if I ever hear of fans of mine not behaving in such a way, especially if they're going on another forum and saying libelous and slanderous things to other artists, I feel it my duty to reach out to them and say, hey, cool it. Don't be a dick. the thing is the world is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, to the point where we know what everyone is doing. I can get on Facebook and I can go to, let's say, a group that is all about zombies. And in that group, I can guarantee you I'll find fellow apocalyptic writers. And I'll find fans of my books and fans of other people's books. And if I go in there and I see fans of my books trashing other authors, I will want to say something to them, because we don't need that. I understand. If you read something, or you listen to something, or you watch something, and you don't like it, that's fine. Say so in your review. Give it a 1 star and say, I didn't like this because of these reasons. This was a bad book. I don't like this writer's voice. But don't go in that review and say, this book sucks. You should be reading this person. Or, you stole this from this person. What are you doing? Because you are representing that author or that musician in a bad way. And what we need as artists and as fans is to represent those that we love with class. Now, of course, I'm not saying that it is every artist's responsibility to control their fans, because we can't. It's just not possible. There are too many people out there in the world. And among those too many people, there's a fairly significant portion of them that are dicks. There's always going to be trolls. Always going to be trolls. But if you are an honest fan of a particular writer, a particular musician, or actor, or politician, don't be a douche to the other people. Have some class. Have some grace, some elegance, some eloquence. Yeah, if you don't like something, say so. But in the process of saying you don't like something, don't bash someone else. Stay on point. It's hard to be a fan. There's so much out there to be a fan of. And every time you publicly say that you're a fan of something, there's always someone out there pointing their finger of shame at you to say, why are you a fan of that? That sucks. You should be a fan of this. Hey, that empty milk carton out there, it needs fans too. And maybe I'm going to go out and find it. I'm going to pick that milk carton up. And I'm going to say, milk carton, you're the best milk carton out there. And I don't want you ever to listen to the naysayers and the doubters. You do your thing, milk carton. Even though your thing should be to hold a white, viscous liquid. And you're not. You're only holding air. But you're holding air better than anybody else. In the end, it all boils down to following Will Wheaton's edict when he said, don't be a dick. And that's the truth. The world has enough of them out there. There is a big bag of dildos worth of dicks out there. We need people to act in a classy way. If you're a fan of mine, thank you again. And if you're out there in a public forum, remember, the things you say and the things you do in a very indirect way represent me. And I would never represent you in a bad way. And I would hope that you would never represent me in a bad way. And that should hold true for all fans of all artists everywhere. Thank you for listening to this Jack verse. I'll be coming back again in a week or so. And we'll pick up on the educational side of this series. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but it will be something interesting. I promise. Thank you, everybody out there. Enjoy this glorious weather. Yeah.